TV as we are live and right to the action here in the $100,000 World Cup as we have Performance Polo and Richard Mille going at it today. We have Performance Polo with Carlitos Garcia, Santi Torres, Pecco Pizzetto, and Tommy Collingwood. They're going to be in the white jersey today. Richard Mille, Mark Ganzi, Heta Casanola, Perotto Cambiaso, and Lolo Casanola. And Steve Lane, this should be a fabulous polo game. Two great matchups here.
Two 22 goal teams going against each other, and the players were chomping at the bit for that first bowl in. And Richard Mille in black and Performance Polo in white, and Richard Mille just shoots at the goal and a little bit wide to the left. So a knock-in coming from Performance Polo.
Very quick. We apologize about that. They were ready to roll here as they jumped on it. As these two teams, we knew they were going to come out firing here. 4 p.m. Polo Chucker TV. We love it. $100,000 to the winning team. So this is going to be a chess game all day long. Collingwood, who's also won this tournament a few times, he knows this type of game. It's going to be turned around by Casanola. Heta on 8 goals. We'll take it back to the inside, trying to work it in, walking the dog. 2 players come together, hooked by Perotto, Malice in the air, and a whistle on the play, and they'll stop the clock with 5:54 to play here at the first chucker.
Looks like a little right-of-way violation right there, and it looks like Richard Mille might be getting a penalty shot in their favor, and that's the way the umpires are approaching towards that goal to lay a ball down. Looks like a possible penalty 3 right here in favor of the black jerseys.
So Richard Mille winning the bowl in, getting the offensive attack here early in this first chucker, controlling the pace, putting the pressure on Performance Polo. Gracida, Torres, Polito, and Collingwood have won this tournament in the past. Trying to repeat, it's going to be Casanola with the open goal. Hit the no problem there with the high flag, and that's going to put them ahead 1-1. Two 22-goal teams. Now, remember this 2021 $100,000 World Cup. You can enter a team 0 goals and play against a team that's 40 goals. You will receive the handicap. This is the most even we've seen, actually, Steve, in all the games I've played this year in the $100,000 World Cup.
Yeah, just 22 to 24, and wow. We are even here, and it's winner take all, $100,000 as you mentioned, and Polito's going to come out of the bowl in with the ball.
On the breakaway, it bounces back right there. Gracida, Carlos tries to get through the hook of Ganzi, backed up there by Lolo. Casanola on 6 goal, former 10-goal player Lolo. And now we get another whistle. So a couple quick whistles here early in this first chucker.
Umpire setting the precedent right here and meeting, just crossing that line just a little bit. And, of course, the 2 umpires are mounted officials, Esteban Ferrari and Federico Martelli, discussing the ball placement here on this play. They come together, even though they're radioed up, but they're deciding where to put the ball. And, of course, we do have challenges today, Dale, and our instant replay official, Gaston Dorniac, in the booth watching things closely from all angles. So a penalty 3 coming in favor of Performance Polo, and Carlitos Gracida very good at these. Tees the ball up, and we'll see if he does duties for Performance Polo.
All right, so 1 challenge per half here at the Grand Champions Polo Club and $100,000 World Cup. So they're going to get an opportunity to have 2 challenges per game. Of course, if you get it right, you will receive an extra. As long as you keep getting the challenges right, it's going to be Gracida with the open goal. Carlos going to walk up there with the worm burner, get the equalizer, making it 1-1. Nip and tuck early as we come back to center. For any of you new viewers today, we will switch directions in the game of polo. That is the procedure we use for the same sun, wind, field advantage. And we'll be breaking down the plays all day for you. Get on the Facebook conversation. Let us know what you think. These games are all single elimination, so it is the final every time they hit the field that's 300 yards long by 160 yards wide. Ball's in play, and Collingwood and Torres try to go at it. It gets popped out to the far side, and Casanola will get there very quickly with the number 2 on his back. Heta He'll slow it down and get stolen away by Garcia, and that ball will pop out of bounds.
Pop out of bounds in our first change of possession play of the day. So Richard Mille will get the free hit where the ball went out of bounds. Performance Polo addressing down the field, and it looks like Lolo going to put the ball back in play.
Casanova. One time off the grass right there, and he's got, looks like it's going to be Perotto. Perotto's going to leave it there for Heta. And I am thrilled to see these two young Polo stars playing together. Santi Torres on the move, and watch out. Here comes the red helmet running the turn at full speed. Oh, a little miss hit there. Keep your eye on the ball on the sideline, please, as they will jump the boards as Collingwood comes off the field, back on the field, and he handles that perfectly, executed by the number 4. Collingwood going forward. Now Polito. Pecco tries to get a piece of it, turns it around, and Heta will turn it. He looks like he's got Lolo going forward. Lolo, Heta's father, and so they playing together. Seeing great to see them here at the Grand Champions Polo Club on the field together. Heta's got to leave that ball behind, and now it's going to be a foot race. Four-legged athletes on the move. Looks like Santi's going to drag it inside the 60 off to the right side. Casanova will put him on his hip and escort that one off the end line, and we'll get our first knock-in of the day.
Little pop-up fly and a miscue by Heta, and Santi Torres picks up the loose ball, first on the offside. Unable to outrun Heta, takes the ball on the near side and just right-hand side of the goal. So another knock-in for Richard Mille.
All right, so it looks like they're going to mix this one up a little bit. A few players changing horses. So it looks like we are using the courtesy change today here in the $100,000 World Cup. So at 2:40 on the clock, you'll see all the players ride off. This is a change for whoever would like to change their four-legged athlete. We try to keep it under 45 seconds, and we're going to take this one a little bit longer because it looks like we have Lolo and Perotto changing down on the far end. So Cambiaso will change his horse down there with Casanova. Got a few changes down on the left side. Steve, what's the breakdown on this one? What do you think? Give us a little breakdown of the tournament as we get to here.
Well, there's 8 teams in this tournament, and as you mentioned, single game elimination. And last Friday, Casablanca took on Hawaii Polo Life, and they were victorious over Hawaii Polo Life by a score of 12-6, and that gives Casablanca a berth in the semifinals, which will be played this Thursday.
What a game that was.
Oh, that
back and forth. Unbelievable. All the games have been stellar polo.
Yes. Then, of course, yesterday we had Dundas playing against Santa Rita, and that was a barn burner right there, too. And Santa Rita edged out Dundas by a score of 14-12. Dundas with 3 Obregons on the team, and what a game that was.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of talk on the streets lately, and they say that these games here for the $100,000 World Cup have been the games to watch. And, you know, it's set up that way. This tournament is set up with single elimination. $100,000 a winning team. That's going to bring a lot of energy to the field.
It brings a lot of intense energy to the field, and 6 games in this tournament. We have not been cheated by a bad game so far, and I don't see us being cheated by one in the future.
The weather has been perfect here in southern Florida. Grand Champions Polo Club. And on the first knock-in of the first chucker, outlet pass, but it's going to get gobbled up here by Santi. Torres is going to slap this one back to the inside. Collingwood going to hammer one off the pony. And they're going to get a whistle on the play, and that'll stop the action as everybody was rushing across the field.
Yeah, Tommy Collingwood just crossed over there from the near side to the offside to take a neck shot on goal. And, of course, Federico Martelli right there on the play blows the whistle. They'll move it to a penalty 5B from the center in favor of Richard Mille.
So it looks like Richard Mille gathering here, having a little polo huddle in the center of the field. Casanova, captain of the team with number 4 on his back. Ganzi, the Cobra, in the front. Heta at the number 2. And Perotto Cambiaso playing the number 3. On the outlet pass, they're going to find Heta as Perotto. Looks like Perotto dealing with Santi. Now, they know each other very well as they play a lot of polo together for the Valiente squad with Adolfo. So it's going to be fun to watch these two play against each other, knowing that they understand the game of polo very similar. Oh, look at this. Everybody hustling on the inside. And right there, 4 players. You could throw the blanket over 4 of them and get a whistle on the play.
Yeah, I'm not going to predict what happened there, but it looked like
a hustle play, huh?
Heta might have been on the line right there. And once again, Federico Martelli right there on top of things. So he'll come together and have a discussion with Esteban. Esteban, I think they've already discussed it. Federico going to put the ball down, giving the players a little bit of let's not have any discussion here, guys. So Mark Gansey wanting an explanation of why this is a penalty 4 instead of a 3. So, Hedda, keep in mind, had his back towards the goal that they were attacking.
Okay, so we are going to get a challenge on the play, and they're going to challenge a ball placement here. So they're going to challenge the 60-yard ball placement, and Richard Mille wanting a 40-yard ball placement. So they'll send that in to the booth and to the Chucker TV studios where we have our instant replay official, and they'll go ahead and challenge the ball placement on this one. You may challenge the call the umpire makes, and you also are allowed to challenge the ball placement. So they're checking with our instant replay official on this one, as he'll check out all the angles. And remember, on Chucker TV, you have the end zone cams, you have the center cam, and the drone always flying. So they'll go ahead and check the ball placement here just to make sure. If you just joined us, once again, Performance Polo with Carlitos Casita. At the number 1 position, Santi Torres in the red helmet, number 2. Pecco Polito at the number 3, and Tommy Collingwood. A very strong 22-goal team. Richard Mille with Mark Gansey, the Cobra, at the number 1. Heta Casanola at the number 2. Perotto Cambiaso playing the number 3 today, and Lolo Casanola, and it'll be Perotto on the 60-yard shot. Nice shot here by Perotto, and that's a beautiful swing by the young Polo star as he's going to lay that one in. And this is a great start by Casanola and by Cambiaso from the penalty line. They're 100%. They'll come back to center. All goals at the moment scored from the penalty line on both teams. Back to the center. Still looking for a gap here, Steve. Nobody looking to getting free at all.
No, absolutely not. But Collingwood's going to send Santi Torres down the field for this pass, Dale.
On the move, Santi on the gray pony. He'll pick it up, drag it into the corner, turn it to the inside. Great ball control. Now he leaves it for Collingwood. They'll come together, pop one down to Gracita. Carlitos in the coffin corner. Now everybody down there trying to get loose. Polito will leave it for Santi, and Santi ducking to the left, back to the right. Good move here by Torres. Keep it in between two dark shirts. Santi Torres leaves it for Collingwood, looking for Polito, and it gets popped out of there. And a whistle on the play. So a very sticky first Chucker play here in the $100,000 World Cup.
Yeah, a little bit of shading on that play there, I do believe, and it was kicked by a pony out when it popped out. We didn't quite hear the whistle on that play, wind blowing in the wrong direction. However, penalty 2 from the spot, and Carlitos Gracita finishes that off by putting it right on through there for his second penalty 2 of the first period of play.
Yeah, great ball control there by Torres. Santi had control, took it in between. The black jerseys converged on him, and I agree with this one here, Steve. It looked like they converged a little bit too much, blocking him in there inside the 30-yard line. About 1 second to the warning horn. Umpire still has the ball in his hand. Put your hands together for the Richard Mille team in the dark jerseys. Performance Polo in the white jerseys. We got a set of 2s coming into the second Chucker, and we'll be right back here for our second Chucker play, $100,000 World Cup on Chucker TV. And if you're just joining Chucker TV, Performance Polo in the white jerseys, Carlito Cressida, Santi Torres, Pecco Polito, and Tommy Collingwood. Richard Mille with Mark Ganzi, Heta Casanola, Perotto Cambiaso, and Lolo Casanola. And very, very tight game here early on, Steve. A lot of whistles for a very strong, too strong 22-goal game, but defensive battle.
Well, hey, that single game elimination, the $100,000 brings a lot of intensity to it and maybe a few butterflies here in the first period. So those butterflies will go away as the game goes on and the communication will get better. And we're just waiting on one player to return to the field from Performance Polo, and we will gear up and get the second period going. So game 3 here in the $100,000 World Cup by Audi. One game tomorrow at 4 o'clock where Beverly Equestrian will take on Great Oaks. And then you know what? Semifinals on Thursday.
There you go. I'm ready for semifinals. And all the goals on the board at the moment, all scored from the penalty line. Heta Casanola with the penalty 2. Perotto with the 4, 100%. Cressida has both for the Performance Pole team, a 3 and a 2. And back to the center we go.
Here we go. The ball's back on the ground and in play. And who's going to come out with it? But Pecco Polito trying to get by Lolo Casagnola. He's going to check down, go in behind. Now a little cat and mouse, back to the right, to the left, back to the right. He's got Perotto on one hip, Lolo following him up. Polito still gets that ball on the near side and a shot towards goal, and that's going to be the first goal from the field scored not from the penalty line.
Yeah, keep an eye on the white jerseys. They're all 4 hustlers. These two play, all 4 players. They will get out there. Pecco picking up that play, a splendid goal from the near side. And as you said, Steve, first goal from the field here, but early on, a lot of polo to be played. This one will go on forever, trust me. Back to the center we go on Esteban.
Esteban gives the ball back to the players, and Pecco Polito, the first to get that loose ball out on the opposite side of his bowl-in. Polito turns the ball back to the left, looking for room to work. And here's Polito. Tommy Collingwood says, send it on down. Perotto has Santi Torres wrapped up, and here is Perotto. Perotto tries to turn the ball around to the right. Carlos Cressida takes a little stab at it. Collingwood working that magic stick of his, but Heta Casanola comes in and picks it up, and we've got a whistle on the play right there, and I don't want to second guess.
Yeah, a lot of rubbing in there. As I said earlier, you could throw a blanket over 5 out of 8 players on that play. But 2 mount officials going to be working very hard in this game. Very quick players. A lot of energy. So we're going to see Captain Casanola has the ability to talk to the umpires. So they're going to go ahead and question that play. And they're going to go ahead and set this up for a bowl-in. So they're going to call no foul on the play. And they're going to put this one from the center of the boards on Martelli.
Martelli looking for a clean bowl-in, looking for a clean lineup. Don't want anybody to have an unfair advantage or an unfair disadvantage on these throw-ins. Throw-ins so important in the game of polo. And now we're going to have a whistle, and he's saying, guys, we're not messing around here. Stay on your own sides.
Yeah, jumping a lot there. Looked like Torres coming across to Casanola. Now he's going to flip around and back to the outside.
Martelli throws it in. Perotto and Santi. It comes out the back door. Santi's going to take the ball off the boards, playing the rebound. Santi trying to get around. Some black jerseys right there. Santi still good ball control. Picked up by Polito. Polito's going to run the turn and try to take that ball back towards the center. Lolo is also there. And he wanted a shot, and the whistle goes off. And actually, Martelli was just explaining that riding into the shot or riding into the swing on the last whistle we had, we could see his body motion talking about that. And I think that's what we've got right here. And so we will have an open goal, I'm guessing, in favor of Performance Polo.
Inside the 60 on all of these penalty shots, so this has made it a bit easier for Carlos Cressida. Cressida, he has been fabulous from the penalty line today, 2 for 2. Started with the open goal penalty 3, then a 2, and now back to the open goal penalty 2. 30-yard shot. Cressida will do the honors for Performance Polo.
No problem for Gracita. That's his third penalty shot right through the goal, putting his team 2 goals ahead, 4-2 over Richard Mille. So all goals except one coming from the penalty line.
So biggest lead of the game here, jumping out with 2-goal difference. And as I said, if you missed our first Shucker, we did have a challenge where the Richard Mille did lose their challenge, Steve, so that might come into play, but it's going to be Lolo on the ball.
Lolo to Heda. Heda picks up the loose ball, looking over his shoulder. Of course, Peroto goes downfield. Here comes Heda. Heda's going to send the ball down the field for an approach shot. Mark Gansey out there all alone. Too bad that ball just didn't drop in front of the goal with Mark out there all by himself.
Yeah, bad luck. Win the bowling right there. Lolo gets him going forward, finds his son, hit the down inside, and that ball just a foot off the left. Gansey all by himself down there, so they'd love to get that one back. It's going to be Collingwood on the knock-in.
Here comes Collingwood bringing the ball back down the field in play. He's got to try and get around Mark Gansey. Mark Gansey marking him tightly. Collingwood's going to take the ball to the right over by the far boards. So Collingwood's going to check down, being ridden there by Lolo Casagnola. Mark Gansey turns it and gives a little flip shot to Lolo. What a nice play. Now there's a cluster of players right there. Lolo finally comes out with it. Gracita gets over to the near side, but not quick enough, and we've got another tweeter on that play.
Yeah, easy call on that one as Carlos is moving from left to right when Lolo hits that ball. So he's going to get caught on the right of my violation. I know they think he got there early enough, but you can see the number 1 with the white helmet moving from left to right. Lolo's already on top of it, 2 strides, half a stride in actually at the end of it. So they'll pick up an open goal here and looking to put it within 1 goal with 4:19 on the clock.
So Richard Mille being the recipient of a penalty on the far side, and of course there was nobody between the player who fouled and the goal, so that's why it's an open goal penalty. Penalty 2, 1 approach, 1 hit, and 1 hit at. So few players choosing to change horses during that time. Mark Gansey's off the field, but he's 30 yards from the goalpost, which is very, very legal. Here is Heda.
Heta's going to pick up his second goal of the day, and all from the penalty line. 2 for 2 from the penalty twos.
4-3 in favor of Performance Polo. So all 8 players and 2 umpires will come back here to the center of the field where we'll have another bowl in. And actually, Carlitos Gracita went off and changed ponies as well, but stayed off the field on his end of the field. And they'll line up on Ferrari. Ferrari underhand bowl in, just the way it's supposed to be. Carlos Gracita takes a stab at it, but Lolo comes out with the ball. Lolo going to work the ball to the right, trying to get around Gracita. Lolo gets a little piece of it, but it stays out in front. Santi Torres unable to make Mallet meet ball on the near side back shot attempt. Santi Torres taking it over into the far corner. Now up against the boards. He's got to find room to work. Lolo's going to come in there and keep him honest. However, here comes Carlitos Gracita, hits a shot over towards the center, finds Polito, and Polito sends it down the field. And here comes Polito once again to Santi Torres. Santi Torres got a little bit of a jump on his man. He's on a breakaway. Santi Torres going towards goal. A nice little easy shot right through the goal. What a play, what a run by Performance Polo.
Perfect power Polo there by the boys in the white jerseys. Starts off with Collingwood, finds Polito, and that was a brilliant pass by Polito as the red helmet was streaking down the center of the field. Santi Torres on the move, very comfortable inside the 60-yard line, and they're going to keep that 2-goal lead as we get to the center once again with 2:45 on the clock.
Ferrari puts the ball back on the ground to the players. Carlos Gracita jumps out with the ball. Santi Torres there to follow him up, trying to get by ahead of Casanola, and he has done so. Can we see back-to-back goals from Santi Torres? Santi works the ball towards goal, but gets a piece of it. It goes off to the right. Head is going to jump on the loose ball, taking it back over to the far corner. Can they do a repeat of what Performance Polo just did? Head sends a shot down the field. Mark Gansey, 4 horse lengths out front, being caught by Carlitos Gracita. Gansey a little bit off to the right, but picks up the ball. He's got a tough cut shot. Can he work the ball back towards center? Gansey slows down. Nice bring back open shot towards the inside. Gansey still on the ball. He's going to be hooked by Polito. And here comes Head to back him up. Hedda, and we've got a goal right there for Richard Mille, and the umpires playing the advantage on that play right there, Dale.
All right, they're playing the advantage, of course, because you got a foul against Lolo there, so the umpire's playing the advantage to see if that goal gets scored. The Richard Mille team with a penalty there, no problem. So great late whistle there to hold the whistle. And that's top umpiring right there because they definitely had a penalty with the second man being fouled with Gracita's hook on Gansey. So that'll put him in here. We got a match going on here, Steve.
Lolo Casanola comes from the back to the front to pick the ball up out of the front of the bowl in. Going to leave it for Hedda. Hedda being hooked by Pecco Polito, and I think Pecco's horse might be in the swing right there. So Esteban Ferrari looking right down the line, one of the mounted officials here for the Grand Champions Polo Club.
Yeah, 100% on that one as Pecco does make the hook, but his horse's head is over, and great sportsmanship there by Casanola, not to swing through, to catch the pony. And now they're going to be talking ball placement. We had players on the move here. It looks like they might bring this one in, or they're going to drop it at the 60. It looks like they're going to get a 40 out of this one. So players on the move. And again, I love the ball placement. Move the ball.
Yes, fouls being costly right here in early stages of this game. 1:14 left on the clock. Only a 1-goal difference. And here is Richard Mille's chance to tie things up if they convert this open goal penalty.
Looking for the equalizer with 1:14 on the clock. And they pass it back and forth here. Perotto or Heta. Both of them are brilliant from the penalty line. Looks like Casanola is going to do the honors with the open goal 40-yard shot. Heta right down the center and gets the high flag. And look at this, Steve, 5-5 as we click down to a minute here in our second checker play.
Well, as you mentioned, nip and tuck, and it might be this way the whole day.
I got a feeling it's going to be like that all the way down. Maybe in the 7 chuckers, this one, as they're so evenly matched, both teams, as we come back to center. Every possession huge here in this type of game on the bowling.
Ferrari bowls the ball back in underhand one more time. It goes out the back door. Perotto Cambiaso jumps on the loose ball, and what a shot downfield looking for Lolo. Santi Torres in a hurry to get back with Lolo. Lolo, what a back shot over towards the center of the field. However, Richard Mille unable to capitalize on it. And Gansey right there picks up loose ball and a whistle right there. I think we might have had an uneven ride-off. It speeds right there. And we'll see that should end our second period of play with the whistle. So all players returning to their tent. We think the umpires heard the whistle. And, yep, that's going to end chucker number 2. Stay with us. We've got a tight ball game here, 5-5 to start the third period. And you're watching live here on Chucker TV.
Everybody, welcome everybody to the Grand Champions Polo Club. And we ended the third chukker with a whistle. And it looks like an open goal. No, just a penalty 5A in favor. So they're going to stop right here. We got a couple more players come on the field. Steve, early on. You know what? All open goal penalty, all goal shot penalties pretty much. I mean, we have maybe one penalty 5. Otherwise, everything in the first 2 chukkers have been a shot on goal.
6 open goal penalties and 1 penalty 4 by Peroto there, and we ended the second period of play here with a whistle. So we'll put it back in play with a free shot in favor of Performance Polo. So yeah, players feeling each other out. Little rest on the field here and there from these players, and Tommy Collingwood's going to put the ball back in play.
Collingwood takes this one, and he taps it to the inside, looking for someone, everybody going forward. Gansey's going to give him a little rub here, put the pressure on. Rotation by Polo as he takes it down the far right side, and Collingwood will drag it into the boards. Casanola comes up on a little bit of a dual play there. He wins that one, takes the mallet and the ball hit now he'll work it to the inside. He has Gansey going forward. Pecco's going to roll back and play zone back inside the 40-yard line now. Polo with the open back shot, not the shot he wanted, but Collingwood jumps on that, pounces on it, and Santi's going to get caught with his head down there, and that is inside the 60-yard line.
So a possible open goal penalty coming in favor of Richard Mille, and as you saw it, Dale, looking right down the line from the center camera, Santi Torres coming across there. Richard Mille has the choice of from the point of the infraction or the 30, and they choose the 30, a straight-on shot. Once again, one approach, one hit, or one hit at.
Had a little bad luck there for Torres as he was just coming from left to right. Easy call. It'll be Casanola once again with the open goal. Hit the dialed in here, and he's going to smoke one right there for the high flag, and that's going to put him ahead by a goal here early in our third chukker.
Heta's fourth penalty 2 of the day, 100% so far. And, of course, all 5 goals, 6 goals coming from penalty shots for the Richard Mille team.
Yeah, 1 goal by Casanola, Heta from the field, but it was right down in front. And then 1 by Torres and Polo. And here comes Santi. He gets hooked in there by Cambiaso. And it'll be held and controlled by the number 3. He'll leave it for Collingwood. Tommy down the center. Everybody covered up. There's not one person on the field by himself. Now they come together. And Heta's going to meet that play. And Gracita's going to get caught on the near side. So on the wrong side. And they'll drop that ball for a 5A. All right, so they're talking now and out a little bit on the field. And it'll be Casanola, Lolo this time, to control once again. It's a flying wedge as everybody goes forward, but he finds Peroto on the far side. Peroto wearing the number 3. He's going to slow it down. Santi comes together and has every ball today. When the ball gets hit to the outside, everybody seems to converge on it. Now it's going to be Heta to try to open this one up. He's got Lolo downfield. Tommy's going to jump in front, but oh, what a pickup here by Peroto. Out of the air, Cambiaso, one-timer to Lolo, inside the 30, and they come together, and that ball's going to go just wide. But what a pickup by Peroto. Cambiaso on the move, flipped to the inside, not even that, flipped it back on a little snapshot, and almost had Lolo going to goal.
Yeah, great play by Peroto on that, keeping his team alive down there at that end of the field. A great back shot, but Peroto intercepting that back shot and sending it down for his team. So we did have a whistle.
Catch Lolo there coming across?
Yeah, I think so. Well, actually, no. I think Performance Polo is going to have a penalty 5A from the spot right here, and Collingwood's bringing it back in.
Yeah, I said Lolo kind of going on the right side of that ball. Yeah, it was a quick play, and so that stops it there. And we picked up in here be Pecco. Pecco's by himself here for the first time. He's going to break loose over center field, and he's got control. Gansey's going to go ahead and sacrifice. Heta going back with Gracita. Now Polo He'll take it inside. He's got to release this one. He does nicely to the far left side. Will it stay on the field? No, and that ball will travel just outside, and Richard Mille will regroup and set up for a knock-in.
A nice attempt there by Polo, just hit the ball a little bit too far. Santi Torres unable to keep it on the field, so that's why we have a knock-in in favor of Richard Mille.
Another chess game. There'll be so many plays today. And look at this one. It's going to be now the outlet out to Peroto, and this has worked. They use Peroto on the outside, on the right side. Now they'll use him on the left side. Great rotation by the two Polo stars. They bring it back inside. It'll be Castanola. Heta. Tommy's going to sacrifice, come back to him. A little juke to the inside. Heta controlling. Whoa, I like that little play. Snaps the ground with it. Now he finds Cambiaso, and I like this. Casanola and Cambiaso have the give and go working perfectly here in the third chucker. Peroto on a brilliant four-legged athlete. Once, twice, three times. Peroto inside the 30. They'll drag it outside. It's still on the field, backed up by Torres. They come together, Lolo and Gracida. Look at Lolo battling in the corner now, and we have action down in the far west end zone. They'll bring it to the inside. Heta takes it from his dad. They come together right there, and this ball gets taken out, and a whistle will stop the action with 3:26 on the clock.
Yeah, I think we had a performance Polo player coming in there and possibly fouling the second man, even though he got a great shot off downfield, but the umpire's whistle goes off, and it looks like Richard Mille will be the recipient of an open goal penalty here.
The type of game where you don't have any time to breathe. You got to find it. And I will tell you something. Castanola and Cambiaso, that's the first time today in this game that we've seen two players on one team actually have the ability to use the give and go and get free. So I think we have good things to come here. I like the way they're using that. On the other side, Polito, he's gotten free a few times, so they're trying to loosen him, get him free so he can make some plays at the number 3 position. But at this moment, Steve, it has just been a defensive battle, and everyone mounted up so well, it's very hard to get loose.
Yeah, and of course the umpires keeping right on top of everything. You know, they played a slow whistle when necessary, blew the ones that affected the play. So I like the job they're doing as well.
It's been a tight game, so you know you like to make it free and open up and lose a few whistles. But as we've had a bunch of whistles, but it's just been so strong of a defensive battle here early. And, well, it makes sense. Look at the players on the field. Anytime they get free, it's a goal coming. So the best way to stop a goal scorer is get to them early. And a lot of times when you get the players early, then you get these melee plays and the whistle comes.
Yeah, you can break up that play, and all 8 players involved here. 2 well-balanced teams, 2 22-goal teams. So, you know, man, we got a lot of Polo left to play. This is our courtesy horse change that we're enacting right now. One more player due to arrive on the field, and it looks like a penalty 2 we'll start with and for Richard Mille, and here is Heta Castanola.
Heta's going to go ahead and put one down the center once again. He gets a high flag, and he's been perfect from the penalty line.
His 5th penalty 2 of the day, and he has been perfect. So that tells us that Performance Polo needs to quit fouling down in front of that goal and maybe a little more communication. Maybe not going to the play when they needed to, give up this play and go to the next one. Here's Ferrari.
So in the second chucker, Performance Polo had the 2-goal lead. Now the shoe's on the other foot. Richard Mille with the 2-goal lead. Let's see if they can extend it to 3 as Gracida gets the next shot out of the bowl end, but it's going to be, Santi coming from nowhere, jumps in there, takes it off the boards, and now it's going to be Lolo, and looks like he got the Cobra going forward. Lolo, he's got Heta going to the center. Gansey down the middle. Nice pick up here by Lolo in the bouncing ball. Backed up, out of the air by Lolo, and he'll take the inside. Gracida too far to the left there to make a play. Lolo looking over his shoulder, picks it up from Heta, leaves it for Heta, and that ball is going to go just wide. And they were ducking and diving, bobbing and weaving back and forth in there. Lolo kind of slapped one out of the air like a tennis play, but it'll be lined up here now for Performance Polo.
Yeah, Lolo slapping that ball down, giving it back to Hedda, and Gansey unable to check down for that pass. And here's Performance Polo. Tommy bringing the ball back in.
Huge shot to the boards here, but it's going to be Lolo. Lolo just puts that one down. It doesn't need to be far, about 5 yards. That's all he needed. Oh, look at this little play by number 2. Flips it back inside. Lolo jumps in the rumble seat. There's a ride-off. There's a control play. Into the corner he goes. Lolo trying to work it out. He has Hetta in the rumble seat. Now they come together. 2 players. Mallets in the air. And another whistle on the play. And that'll stop the action with 1:30.
Right, a little tough to see from here exactly which angle that line of the ball was. I saw 2 things there. I saw white player foul the second, Richard Mille player, and then, of course, Carlos Cressida was looking for a foul on that play, and, of course, they're coming to center, so apparently Carlitos was correct on the assumption of the line of the ball.
Yes, it looks like the Performance Polo team with Torres, Collingwood, and Polito are going to talk this one out. This is the type of game that any positive possession, and when we talk about positive possession, we're talking about the penalty 5s and the knock-ins, because usually say you see more 5s and knock-ins, but today we're seeing more open goals, Steve. It's kind of a weird setup, but we are seeing a lot of open goals in a high-goal game like this.
We've seen a slew of penalty 2s so far, all of them made, but 3 of them in favor of Performance Polo and 5 of them in favor of Richard Mille.
All right, let's see if Collingwood can get it going here, looking for a positive possession. Down by 2. Richard Mille looking to go up by 3 to go to the 10th. Santi's going to slap one back, looking for Cressida. Carlos has a true breakaway. Lolo coming on strong. Cressida and Lolo. And, yeah, he's got a near side there. You can see that ball was coming from right to left. Lolo jumped right on the right of way, so easy call by the Mount officials.
Yeah, an uneven ride-off there by Carlitos, just taking Lolo's horse's neck away. And, of course, that's easy to see looking down the line or even from the side. So that brings the umpire's whistle. We've got one player who's going to change, the 2 umpires using hand signals and explaining the call. And they'll bring the players together and say, guys, we're going to have a penalty 5B right here going back towards the east in favor of Richard Mille.
Yeah, no need for explanation on that one, Steve. That's an easy call. I mean,
maybe somebody didn't see that, with their back to the player being written off. But you and I, we saw it perfectly,
I say
we?
They never see it or they wouldn't be fouling. That's what I say. All right, here we go. Let's see if Richard Mille can get the 3-goal lead here. I know they want it. Pronto says, I have control, guys. Good hook in there by Cressida, backed up by Torres. Nobody home, or maybe as Polito coming on hard, coming in tight. He makes a ride off there on Hetta. Look for the deep neck shot. Pickle. And there's the high flag, and that is a huge goal for the Performance Polo team here with this melee plays going back and forth, down by 2. They're not going to get another bowl in here, Steve, so we're going to end this half 7-6. They come back to the center. There's the horn. Ball still in the umpire's hand, so we're going to send them off to the tent. And, man, this second half, we will see what they both come out with game plans here, Steve. They're going to be in there chatting about it. I love to have the tents mic'd up when it's like this. We'll send them off, and we'll be right back here. Enjoy your halftime, as we'll be right back here on Chucker TV for the second half of the 2021 $100,000 World Cup. All right, welcome to the halftime breakdown. And today we are going to break this one down. Steve Lane, we have all the stats on this one. Kind of a weird game with two 22-goal teams. Amazing horsepower on the field. And I thought it might be a little more open, but it has turned into a control game. And I think that's what they're talking about in the tents on how do you get someone loose. But let's break it down a little bit. What do you got on the stats there?
Yeah, a little choppy here and there in the first half. But, Performance Polo scoring on 3 penalty twos in that first half with 3 field goals from the field. And Richard Mille scoring on 5 penalty twos, a penalty 4, but only 1 from the field. So, there's 2 sides of the coin right here. Number 1, Performance Polo needs to quit fouling down Richard Mille's end of the field. And number 2, Richard Mille needs to score some field goals because Performance Polo is outplaying him on that aspect.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but it just shows you how strong they are defensively. Let's Collinwood, he's won this tournament a couple times. This guy's great at the number 4 position. On the other side, Lolo Casanola, arguably one of the best number 4s in the world in his day. Argentine Open, U.S. Opens, name it. He's been there, he's done that. And I liked, though, with Casanola, Heta, and with Cambiaso, with Perotto, they only had 1 or 2 of them. But I'd like to see them come out and work that give and go. These 2 guys are going to be 10 goals for sure. We've already talked about it. Everybody knows it. These guys are just amazing polo players. They're dedicated. Their fathers are dedicated. Their families are dedicated to the game of polo. And that's, for me, is the move. Mark will work the front, work the back. The Cobra will come in and do whatever they want him to do in a game like this. On the other side, Gracita has had 1 breakaway, and he's a runner and gunner. His father was one of the highest scorers in the Argentine Open back in the day, Carlos Gracita Sr. So this kid, but he hasn't been able to get free. Man, I'm scratching my head. This is one of those games, like how do you, if you're coaching them or working it out, it's just a really tough game to figure out what works. But I think you're going to see more of the Cambiaso Casanola show. When I say that, it's Perotto and Heta on that give and go because that works for them. And those guys can get it done. On the other side, I think Pecco's been great here in the second and third chukker. And if they can combination with him a little bit with Torres, because Santi has scored some good goals running the goal.
Yeah, I'd like to see Richard Mille put a little more offensive play, sending it down to Mark Ganzi and using him a little bit. Perotto and Heta are working well together in the center, and like you say, Lolo playing a great defense, but let's see a little bit more offense out of their number 1.
Yeah, the problem is, like I told you again, Steve, you got Collinwood. He sits back there and he plays that. He's a stump back there, and he's great at it. So you got me. Tell us what you think on the Facebook conversation. What team you'd like to see win today. But get on it. Let us know what you think. This should be it's going to be an interesting second half.
We were tied at 2 after the first, 5 after the second, and only a 1-goal difference here at halftime. So still a lot of polo to go and still anybody's game.
All right, we got the players coming back out here. Let's get ready for our second half action. And like I said, get on the Facebook conversation. Let us know where you're watching the game from today on a Monday. We love the Monday polo. At the Grand Champions Polo Club, we've had a couple different games today. We had some 12-goal polo for you today. And everybody out very quickly, and which means this is going to be a second half, Steve, where they just come out and try to capitalize on that first half, try to learn from the mistakes, get it going. We got our umpires, our final umpires get on some fresh ponies, and we'll get the second half underway.
Yeah, look at this. All the players very anxious, just like at the beginning of the game. All players out on the field early, warmed up early, ready to go early. And the last of the players coming out, Esteban Ferrari still retrieving an umpire pony. And we will be bowling in from the far side of the field as we always swap directions of the bowl-ins after the half. So Richard Mille leading 7-6. Beginning the fourth period, single game elimination, 8 teams in the tournament, third game of the $100,000 World Cup by Audi. A game tomorrow at 3 o'clock, Beverly Equestrian taking on Great Oaks, and then the semifinals set for...
Going to be 4 o'clock, I guess. They
4 o'clock,
yeah. You don't want to miss that one, Steve. Is Bill Bauhaus, Lucas Diaz Alberti, he's going to be replaced by a player. We'll probably get that down, or maybe Lucas is coming. He did have his wrist injury. and he's been filled in by a couple different players and some other on other roster, but we'll see if they decide to play him. Toledo Ocampo and Lara Figueres, they won the Ilva Soccer this year. This 16-goal team, they're going to get some goals on handicap. As Great Oaks coming in at 24, so 8 goals. Dylan Bacon, Dylan, the hustler, my man. Facundo Lorente, Clemente Zavleta, Nacho Naviz Estrada, all playing in the World Polo League this year. Those goals are going to be big against a tough 16-goal team that plays like 20 goals.
Oh yeah, and 8 goals is a huge number to give up. So that's going to be a great game too. And as you mentioned, that game got moved back to 4 o'clock, not 3 o'clock. So tune in with us on Chucker TV tomorrow. And of course, after tomorrow, we will know all 4 teams going into the semifinals on Thursday.
So that team, that Beverly team, they had Peque Gonzalez, who actually played with them on the 6 goals, and then they had Pinello, who played actually in the finals of the Ilva Soccer. And so we'll see what they decide to do there on that team. Hopefully Lucas is ready to go. I saw Lucas and Peaky, his father, and he said he was recovering, but he did have a big wrist injury early in January.
Okay.
8 goals.
Wow.
8. That's a good setup, though. A 16-goal team that plays 20 to 22 goals when they're playing well. Figueres has been awesome, and Ocampo. Both of those 2 players on 6 and 4 goals. Solaro Figueres, I think, at 4 goals, has one of the top 4 goalers here in the nation at the moment. He's been awesome for the penalty line and from the field. And so that should you don't want to miss that one tomorrow.
No.
Then we go into semifinals, and away we go with the semifinals.
Yeah, Casablanca already in the semifinals, and they will play the winner of today's game. So we could have father against son Mark against Grant in the semifinals on Thursday.
You got Hawaii Polo Life played against them, Chris Dawson, Hejo Taranco, Diego Cavanaugh, and they had Peque. And that was just a rock and roll game back and forth. Could have went to anybody. Grant Gazzi, Juancito Bellini, Barto Casanola, who played 10 goals in that game, I think, my opinion, and Nick. And not even better, but Nick and Barto seem to be getting it on. I talked to Grant Ganzi. I got to sit with him and talk a little bit, and he said he was so happy the way the team was going, especially with Barto and Nick really just playing off each other so well, and it was easy for him and Juancito to get in our game.
Okay. Federico Martelli puts the ball back in play. Here we go. The ball pops out on the far side. Pecco Polito comes in there and nullifies the back shot. Here comes Collingwood on through. Collingwood can't get a hold of it, but he's backed up by Carlitos Gracita. Carlitos with a high lofted shot and through the goal. What a shot, what a play by the Performance Polo team. And we're all knotted back up at 7 apiece. Wow, that was a quick score.
Oh, we're talking about Carlos getting involved early, and there you go. Not just scoring goals from the penalty line, but getting one from the field, and that is a positive play for the white jerseys to get the number 1 in the goal-scoring area from the field on the far side. And, man, they're coming in hot. Look at Santi. Santi's on the other side of the bowling right there.
Yeah,
he is trying to win the bowling.
And Federico Martelli sees that, wants a clean lineup. And once again, the ball's on the ground. But here comes Peroto out the back door with it. Tries to send it down to Heda, but Collingwood comes in and does a near side back shot. Lolo with an offside back shot, looking for a black jersey down the field, and he found his son, Heda Casanola. And this is what we like to see. Heda sending it down to Mark Ganzi. Santi just barely getting a hook on him, and Collingwood with an offside back shot. Carlitos comes together, gets a near side back forward shot, but Peroto Cambiaso is going to pick it up and run the turn to the outside. Peroto still on the ball, offside now the near side, taken. Carlitos on his hip, now with a near side back shot into a pony. Heta's going to pick up the loose ball, going to turn it. Heta on the far boards. He gets by Polito. Heta bringing it back towards the center. Peroto's breaking downfield. Heta tries to send a shot to him. A little help from the pony right here. And Collingwood sends it over here right in front of us. Carlitos and Peroto going to ride each other off. Peroto goes for a near side back shot and connects. Santi Torres going to go back and get the ball. Going to take it across the field. Being chased and pressured by Mark Ganzi. Santi Torres going to come in and take the offside play. Santi, he's got to get rid of Mark Ganzi. Heta's going to come in there and help out. Santi wants to turn it underneath his horse's neck. And Collingwood comes in there as well, but it looks like Carlitos Gracida sends a shot downfield. That was Collingwood sending it down to Carlitos. However, Perotto playing a good back right here on this play. Perotto gets by Gracida. Perotto turns the ball back to his left. Perotto still on the ball. Good ball control. Now tries to send a pass up to Gansey, but Carlitos Gracida with a little piece of it. And here comes Heta. Heta Casnola back up to Perotto. Perotto going for a neck shot. Deep neck shot, just a little bit wide left of that left-hand post.
Yeah, bad luck there. Good run there, but he had to delay that neck shot because he had legs in front of him. You can see Perotto kind of looking up, but, I mean, great attempt there, trying to go for the left post, the far post. Anything else would have been in the legs of his defending player, and it'll be performance polo.
Tommy Collingwood brings it back in, sends it over to the right. No white shirts there. Santi reaches back, gets a little piece of it, but unable to keep control. Yeah, he does. He's got control of it over by the boards. Looked like he was going to lose it temporarily, but Santi Torres sending it back over in here towards the center, and Polito on the near side has room to cross over on the offside, sending it down the field, trying to outrun Perotto, and he's got to jump possibly on Lolo. A nice shot downfield, about 35, 40 yards out. He's going to slow down and work that ball towards goal. He'd like a sure goal right here. A big hit at the end, sending it right on through, and performance polo taking the lead by one. Dale, what a play.
Well, the two players we talked about was Gracida and Polito to get involved a bit more for performance polo, being in the positions they're at. And look at this, Steve. You get Gracida to score early, and then that's just a fabulous run by Pecco. And not just that, but an amazing finish as he drags it to the inside. It pops up on him, slaps it out of the air, a one-timer. We're getting our courtesy change with 3:34 on the clock.
First time that Performance Polo has led today by one goal. Even after the first, 5-5 after the second. Performance Polo behind by one after the third at the half, 7-6 in favor of Richard Mille. And now two quick goals by Performance Polo with a score of 8-7.
Fourth chucker action. Well, they came out of the tents, opened it up. Different game than we saw in the first three chuckers, as it was such a defensive battle, round and round, up and down, ducking and diving, bobbing and weaving, everybody everywhere, whistles being blown. And now, well, 3 minutes in, 3.5 minutes in this one, it has been just up and down the field.
They had a good talk there at halftime or ate or drank something different because they've come out a little bit different.
You mean they're drinking the juice?
They're drinking the juice, some kind of juice. Not sure what, but it's helping them.
They're on it. No, they don't understand. So
two unanswered goals by Performance Polo right here, halfway through the fourth period of play.
Four-legged athletes are going to come into play now, and that was a great horse there, but Polito was playing as he just broke loose on the far side. No one in the vicinity, but a great run there as he dropped the hammer. Back to the center we go with the one-goal difference.
Martelli bowls the ball back in, and Perotto gets a little piece of it, but it's deflected off of a pony, and Gansey with the back shot. Santi and Perotto vying for the ball right there. Perotto working the ball on the near side. Perotto up, but Collingwood's going to go for a back shot. He does hammer a back shot. Who's going to be the first to get there? And here comes Polito. Once again, we just saw him score at the west end. Now trying to score on the east end, unable to control the bouncing ball. Gansey with a little open shot. Head is going to pick this ball up and run the turn to the right, using some real estate. Sending it over here to the near boards. Lolo going to play the rebound. Lolo jumps on that rebound, tried to outrun Santi Torres. He's got the leg on him. They neutralize each other, and Carlos Gracida with a little tap back towards center. Heta hits it into Carlitos. No foul on that play. Perotto told to leave it by Heta. Heta going to work the ball down. Now crank it back and give and go to Perotto. That shot almost brought rain right dead center in front of the goal. However, Polito is going to take the ball dangerously out of that goal mouth. Ball's left behind. Here comes Collingwood. Collingwood sends it over towards the boards, but Heta picks it up. Heta waiting for players to clear. And we finally get a whistle. The player didn't clear, taking the quickest exit path out of that right away.
So once again, here now Richard Mille breaking loose on the back shot. Little one from Gansey down there. They got Heta rolling, and I love when Heta and Perotto get rolling together, man. These guys, there is a lot to come from these guys in the future, man. They read each other so well. Left the ball here, and then Heta just hammered one down. As you said, Steve, it almost was raining down here. He hit it straight up in the air. That ball would have gone through the goal if it was as high as it was. He hit it so high, it kind of dropped down around the 30-yard line. Back to the corner over there, and he'll get another penalty. And looking to go up by 2 again.
Looking to go, well, this will even things up should they make it right here on this penalty 3 open goal. So here's Heta. Heta sends it on through, bringing that score back to 8-8, and we are level once again. Wow, what a game we've got going on right here with 2:10 left on the clock. All 8 players will come back. 2 umpires will come back. So 2 minutes left. Anything can happen yet in this period. I'm certain one of these teams would like to go in 1 goal ahead at the end of this 4th period action. Federico Martelli gives the ball back to the players. There is Collingwood with a back shot, and here comes Carlitos Gracita on this great pony, waiting for the ball to settle. Heta takes a swing at it out of the air, but now takes the ball forward. Peroto's looking over his shoulder as well. Both of them back there together. Probably some communication going on right there. Heta looking for some room to work, trying to make Gracita get out of the way. Santi Torres comes in, tries a hook, but Heta rides him off and plays the near side on his own. Heta still going with the ball, loses it. Santi Torres with a tail shot over towards the center. Carlitos Gracita can't get to it, and Tommy Collingwood's going to send him down the field and give him back the ball. Gracita a little bit behind Peroto. Peroto picks the ball up, using that ball control at speed on that bay pony. Peroto just trying to keep it. Oh, and a little quick whistle right there, and Gracita might have been in there and over the top of the ball, I would assume. So it looks like the umpires are headed towards that Richard Mille goal.
All right, I like it. Energy on the field too here, and that's just a great play by Cambiaso. Turning the corner at full speed, accelerating faster out of the turn than he did going in, and he's going to catch Gracita coming from behind. That's a pro play there by Peroto, and I like this. Energy, $100,000 World Cup. You know, they all want to win. 8-8, 1:06 on the clock. Yeah, you're going to see a little bit of energy out there. They'll gather themselves. They get this one down inside. You're going to get an open goal penalty, as Cambiaso was on the move when Gracita gets caught riding in from behind. And you know what? When you have the ability and the horsepower like this kid does to get out in front, keep that ball out there, you can kind of get those fouls on people. It's going to get an open goal, and it's going to be Castanola once again.
Heta Castanola sends another penalty 2 right on through, and Dale, we noticed some whistles being blown after that foul was blown, and a couple of words from player to player right out there, and Esteban Ferrari stepping in saying, hey guys, that's enough. Let's be calm, let's be cool, let's be professionals, and let's be gentlemen. So,
I like it. No penalties on the play. I like that. Let them work it out themselves a little bit. Great job there by the umpires. Here we go.
Here is Heta Castanola sends a shot down to Lolo Castanola. Lolo's got everybody beat. Lolo going to work the ball towards goal. A little bit of a half swing right there, but that ball is going to be over the back line to the right of goal. That's going to end our 4th chukker of play with a score of 9-8 in favor of Richard Mille. Don't go away. We've got 2 more exciting chukkers to go here live on Chukker TV.
All right, we go. Fifth chucker action, 9-8. And it has been back and forth. A very fast, open second half here for the 2021 $100,000 World Cup. And on the knock-in, as Richard Mille had a breakaway down there on the far west side of the field, and Performance Polo will bring it in. It's going to be Santi Torres. Santi gets a pass from Collingwood. He'll slow it down, a little spin to the right, and he'll control as Collingwood's working with Lolo. Lolo taking on two players right now to try to keep him contained. Santi, and looks like he's going to work it inside as no one has come to Torres as he gets it over center field. Torres, Santi. Check your shoulder right there. It's Peroto. Oh, bad luck as that will skip out of bounds. And this is going to be a possession play in favor of Richard Mille. That's just bad luck right there, Steve.
Yeah, totally bad luck. Santi had control and possibly going to break free from that pack. But here we go. Lolo bringing the ball back in.
Castagnolo from a standstill. Gracina's going to apply the pressure. Lolo says no problem down the left side. He's got Heta moving forward. It's going to be taken forward again by Santi, and he'll skip that one out of bounds. And you need to watch out on these balls that go out of bounds because those possessions are huge in a game this tight.
This could actually be a shot on goal right here if they wanted to, because we're a little bit closer. They gained about 70, 80 yards right here on this possession play.
And good call there, Steve, as Lolo's going to pass the stick to Heta. And that's why, look at this, Castagnolo, that ball's got eyes all day long. Wow, what a shot there by Heta Castagnolo. You called it, Steve, possession play on the ball out of bounds, 130 yards from goal. Bang, there you go.
There you have it. So that change of possession play being a little bit costly for the Performance Polo team. So 2 goals ahead now. Richard Mille, 10-8. And this might be an even lead. We've seen 2 goals before, but the bowling takes place.
Great situational awareness there by the Richard Mille team to pass the stick. And Heta just knew exactly what he was going to do there. He tapped it one time, and that was very similar to the pass that he was trying to hit the Peroto earlier. And we talked about it, that he just hit it too high. But that one, dead center. And that ball's going to go ahead and drop on the far side with 5:29. We will get a whistle to stop the action as our 2 mound officials are going to talk about this one. And looks like they're going to go ahead and move this one down. And the situation here, Steve, as we've had this 2-goal buffer back and forth by both teams, and now an opportunity for Richard Mille with a 60-yard shot to go ahead by 3. And they're going to go ahead and talk about the ball placement again. So ball placement, big part of the game in polo. Everybody knows that. We talk a lot about the ball placement. They like to move the ball a lot. Most of the umpires today, back in the day, you probably saw a lot, probably a few more penalty 5s from the spot. In today's polo, the ball does seem to get moved towards the penalty lines. And we know in the game of polo that the more you move the ball, the less fouls you'll probably see, based on that teams understand if teams are having penalty shots against them, well, they won't foul as much. But in this case, you did have players downfield, but they're going to talk about this one. And they'll go ahead and use the cameras, as the cameras will have a look at everybody on the field. And again, I'll mention the cameras. End zone cameras on each side, drone in the air, and our center cam. And on this challenge, what do we got, Steve?
They had a foul blown against Performance Polo, and Performance Polo challenged the call. The call is going to stand, so Performance Polo has lost their challenge for the second half of this game.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't a ball placement challenge. It was actually a challenge down now. Whoa, we'll talk about it. The Richard Mille team, Richard Mille, they lost their challenge early as they did challenge a ball placement. No challenges by Performance Polo in the first half. But now they challenge one in the fit chucker, so that'll give a bit of an advantage to the dark jerseys. Here comes Castanola to try to extend this lead by 3. Heta! Oh, just off to the right side. Gansey tried to stab that one out of the air.
Yeah, he certainly did. That's probably a tough stab looking into the sun a little bit.
I bet.
With that coming at you. And, of course, you know, for the new polo players, you always want to be careful not to tick that ball and have it end up in your face, too.
So Proto was taking – Proto took the last penalty for it. I believe Proto made it forward in the first chucker, but I guess based on how well hit that last ball from 130, they just went ahead and passed the stick, but that just shows you how dialed in this team is today. On the right side, it'll be Pecco. He's going to control and try to run by Proto. Proto puts a hip on him, pushes him in the boards, and they slam on the brakes. Proto staying composed. Lolo's going to push from the backside. Now they come together. Pecco trying to get by Proto. Proto is staying in there. And, man, that ball's going to skip out of bounds, and this is the third time in this chucker, or actually the last 2 chuckers, that ball's gone out of bounds from Performance Polo.
Yeah, and that just shows you how important umpire positioning is, too, because Martelli immediately pointed towards, the bowl-in.
Oh,
right
so
there.
they went to bowl-in.
Yeah.
Good. All right, so bowl-in on the play. No harm, no foul. 2-goal difference now. We are going to click down under 4 minutes here in the fit chucker. And Performance Polo trying to delay Lolo. Taps one time. Santi needs to give him a play. He knows it. Now Lolo. Going to hold him up here a bit more. Santi's going to give him way.
And a whistle.
And you'll get a second whistle there. And, they gave him a right away early, and then he kind of went back in there for a second.
You know, it looks like a right away. And, of course, you've got to be able to get not only your pony, but the player's legs through there.
Sure, you can't you can't squeak a 800-pound animal through a
through a 2-foot wide opening. No, it doesn't work.
And I know, hey, I understand. I've been there before too. Defense wants to have their half of the line. Offense wants their half. So it does go back and forth. I like this call. Maybe better just Santi there. Lolo's going to release that ball. So this is going to hurt him here.
And that's why it's a penalty 4. Too many players up front. It was a slow-moving play, so penalty 4, not open goal.
Eta. There's the drive he's looking for, and that's the one he was looking for earlier. Same one that he did on the penalty 5. 8 from the spot on the possession play when the ball went out of bounds. Casanola's going to go ahead and get the dark jerseys up by 3 goals, and this is the largest lead we've seen today.
And Heda's 10th goal of the day. 10 out of 11 goals for Heda Castanola.
Mixing it up, Castanola. All right, so they come back to the center. And we are going to get our courtesy change, and this is a good time for a breather for both teams. This courtesy change is going to work well for both teams here. It's going to give the Performance Polo team a chance to regroup, get on a fresh 4-legged athlete, and it's going to give the Richard Mille team a chance to gather themselves a little bit and say, yo, guys, we got this 3-goal lead now. So, Steve, what do you think going in here on this bowling here with a chucker and a half left?
Well, I think everybody's coming back on fresh ponies, but you know what? Richard Mille has that 3-goal advantage, so they have a little bit of breathing room right here. And, of course, Performance Polo is going to have to play catch-up the second half of the 5th period. They want to close that gap. 3 goals is too much. Of course, there's a lot of time left. We've got, 10 and a half minutes left of Polo, but playing against this Richard Mille team, 3 goals is a tall order.
Yeah, it has been a nip-and-tuck match all day long. This is the largest lead we've had. And let's see if the young, and a very young team when I say that, with Cressida, Torres, Polito, and Collinwood, can go ahead and answer the call here out of the back of the bowl in. It's going to be Casanova again, and it's Heta. He's going to send Lolo forward. He's got Gansey going forward, and Peroto was going to go for the pass there, but no problem. They regroup very well, and it's going to be Peroto. Peroto, the give and go. This is what I was talking about. Back to Heta, ducking and diving. Bobs to the right, shot on goal. Bounces off a pony, loose ball play, taken out by the number 3. On the far side, he'll drag it into the corner, and that's Pecco. Now he slams on the brakes. Everybody converges on one player, but Pecco still has control, trying to run this one across the center. Polito has Lolo. Nice ride off there by Casanola, and the back shot perfectly executed there by Lolo, and that'll put Santi in control. Torres now in the red helmet on the far side. He'll work it by one player. Heta's going to play in between 2 players there. Now Santi will override, and that one bounces off a pony, but controlled by Peroto. Cambiaso, no time, no worries. He puts it down the center. Santi's going to meet that one. Oh, that's even better. Tennis match going on as Santi puts that one a laser beam. Heta takes it out of there, now leaves it for Peroto. Peroto trying to work the outside here. Works to the outside. Nice bump by Collingwood. Off to the inside, and it'll be Mark. Gansey backs it up to the right side. Nobody home with a black jersey. Taken out there, but so quick with the stick. Peroto steals it away. He had Lola going forward. Now they'll go back on defense, and look at this defense by Richard Mille. They are defending this 3-goal lead as they had 3 players back as Lolo stole that one away, and now it'll be Heta again. Casanola and Peroto said, let's regroup, guys. He drags that one back, puts one out to the boards, and it'll be Santi. Torres now trying to work it under the neck, and Performance Polo not having any luck with the polo ball here at the end of this 5th chukker. They come together, players matching up, and a player comes from right to left there, and it looked like they're going to go ahead and move this one towards the beach, towards the east.
Yeah, a little right-of-way of violation there, Dale, fouling the second player. Both umpires didn't even have to discuss that one, just pointed in the direction and headed for that Performance Polo goal. And in the meantime, Richard Mills going to stay back, talk about that play a little bit. You can see Mark and Peroto and Lolo all having a discussion, as well as Performance Polo around the ball to see who's going to take this penalty shot. And if we regroup, 5 goals from the field for Performance Polo, but only 3 goals from the field for Richard Mille.
Yeah, and you got to give it up here. I mean, if I'm Richard Mille here, I'm not even worrying this one. This is the first goal shot penalty they've given up in 3 chukkers. So take a breath, man. Just chillax, as they say, right? Get in there, defend this one.
Absolutely.
Try to regroup. It's got to be Pecco, and this is a much-needed goal here, down by 3, so let's see if Pecco Polillo can get one here for the Performance Polo team. Oh, well done there. Pecco just drove that one home, and that's going to give energy to the white jerseys. I hear them down there in the corner screaming and yelling for their team, so you need those. Those are huge shots in a game like that, Steve.
That'll give them a little booster right there. They needed that goal desperately. So now a 2-goal spread with 1 minute left here in the 5th period. That is the first goal Performance Polo has scored here in the 5th.
Super job by both teams from the penalty line here in the $100,000 World Cup. Now it's possession play. Everybody wants it. Loose balls. Lolo. And Lolo said, we got him going forward. He had a bunch of them going forward, I got to tell you. I mean, hey, you know, you hit a 50-yard back shot there, and he's got 3 dark jerseys, and not just that. Look at who's going that way, everybody. So this is going to be, they're going to have to move this one.
And it looked like Performance Polo, 3 players couldn't find the ball. They were standing there not sure whether to go to it, swing at it, or where it was. So.
Yeah, I like the offensive attack here. I mean, just great again. Situational awareness by the Richard Mille team as they saw Lolo. And, well, 3, as you said, 3 white jerseys kind of looking for the ball, so let's go on offense. And you know how it works in the game of polo. When you have players that hit you, you must move the ball. And so they'll move that one. They'll move that from center to the 60. And now I guess you could just toss a coin here. Proto's already made one. Heta's made two from the 60, right? Or 1 and 1.
One from a change of possession and one from a penalty for.
Right,
yeah.
so 1 and 1, yeah.
Yeah.
You said Heta hit one from 130. So you can pass the stick here, whoever feels most comfortable. And with 41 seconds on the clock, this will probably be your last shot of the day. If it does go wide, I would think that the Performance Polo team will line up as quick as possible and try to get one more run. I mean, they might go into the 10th with possession, but down by 2, they might want one more run. Here comes Heta Castañola. Heta, and there you go. A little bit of, well, not as much help from the four-legged athlete as you would like, but when you're dialed in, it doesn't matter. So number 2 with the black jersey is going to get goal number
11
for Heta Castañola. We'll send him off. One more chucker left. You don't want to miss this one on Chucker TV. 3-goal difference, but that's not much in a game like this. So we'll be back. Stay with us for the $100,000 World Cup.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 6th and final period of regulation play. Here, Richard Mille playing against Performance Polo in the $100,000 World Cup by Audi. We've got 7 players. We're waiting on one more. We've got 2 umpires, 7:30 to go for Performance Polo to catch up by 3 goals to stay alive in this tournament. Single game elimination. Here we are. They're lined up on Federico Martelli, and Martelli gives them the ball. And Proto with a little slap shot. It bounces off Pony, and Lolo with a back shot over towards the center of the field, right to son Heta. Heta picks up the ball and now sends it downfield. There's Mark Ganzi dropping his horse's head, trying to get back there to that ball. He's a little bit wide, unable to get back to it, and it looks like Carlos Gracita with a back shot. Here comes Polito. Polito sees Torres up front. Torres going to check down, let the ball pass him on the offside. Going to turn it back towards the center of the field. Now try and get by Lolo. Santi Torres with a little bitty worm burner up to Pecco Polito, and Heta Castañola picks his pocket on that play, sends it across the field. Polito and Castañola going together on that ball. Perotto's going to fall in behind. Hedda with a back shot right there into a pony. However, it bounces off a pony, and it's over the back line off of Polito's pony. And what fast action here to start the sixth period.
You got to love that play by Castagnolo, drag that ball forward, as it's not a huge check, but Becco did check a bit there, Steve, and this kid just jumped right on and kept the wheels rolling.
Here is Hedda once again. Hedda looking over his shoulder, looking to the right, tries to hit her centering shot, but it's off a pony, and Perotto's going to pick it up. Perotto taking it all the way around the field, looking for Gansey over on the far side, but Carlitos Gracita's going to ride off Perotto. Gansey able to come in there. He knows he didn't have a play right there. Smart play by Gansey, and here is Lola turning for a back shot. Centering back shot, but who's the first there? Tommy Collingwood. Tommy Collingwood's back shot picked up by Hedda. Hedda coming in. Santi Torres hooks, and Hedda still gets a piece of that ball and comes out with it. What quick with a stick. Send it back over to the left-hand side for Mark Gansey. Mark Gansey's got to work that ball back towards center. He takes a cut shot, gets a little piece of it, and here is Collingwood. Collingwood trying to get around Castanola. And the ball is back over the end line, so we will have a whistle on that play and a possible safety here. And it looks like Esteban Ferrari is coming out here for a safety. Penalty 6. So a possibility of Richard Mille going up by 4. Hedda has made a more difficult shot from a change of possession play over here on these boards earlier in the game, I think about a chukker ago. So we'll see who's going to do the honors for Richard Mille, and it looks like Perotto Cambiaso going to circle his pony for the approach for the penalty 6. Here's Perotto. Perotto shot up. Couple players stab it in the air, and who was that? That was a goal. I think stabbed in by maybe Lolo, or was that Hedda? Hedda, I think you're right. Absolutely.
The El Primos, the cousins connect right there. So they've been connecting all day, but right there is another. That ball was so high as Perotto, the 9-iron shot there, a lob wedge, and then Hedda just took it out of the air, and then he went down, changed his pony or for a mallet or something.
Hedda's 12th goal of the game. 12 out of 13 goals scored by Hedda Castanola. And it looks like we'll have a little horse change right here. An official timeout for Tommy Collingwood to go back. Wow. That 3-goal spread, 4-goal spread just came back for Richard Mille. 4:41 left in this sixth period, so this time is counting down rather quickly. And we'll wait on Tommy to come back, and they'll be lined up on Federico Martelli doing today's services with Esteban Ferrari, Gaston Dorniak, the instant replay official in the booth. And we'll remind you that Richard Mille still has a challenge this half.
Yeah, that's going to come into play as they have that challenge. And at the end here, if you need that one, even if you needed Steve to change your horse or just to be organized, could come into play. Let's see, we got 4:33 left.
Here is Polito driving the goal. Santi Torres going to keep head out on the front. Here comes Polito firing through. Can he put this through? Polito with a little quick tap right there, puts it on through, narrowing that gap by 3 for Performance Polo.
What a run there by Polito as he came out strong. You need that right now. And look at this score. Do the math. 4 minutes left. 3 goals, not that big of a deal. As we always go back to Adolfo, 4 goals in 2 minutes. It can always happen. So let's see. They need to win this bowl-in. So look for the defense on the dark jerseys. The white jerseys looking for possession.
Here is the ball back on the ground, and who comes out with it but Perotto with a back shot. Trying to find a teammate over there, trying to find Lolo Castanola, but Santi Torres' back shot deflected off of a pony. Santi's not going to lose his turn. He's going to turn this ball underneath this horse's neck, trying to get rid of Lolo. And, of course, Lolo rides him off and now picks up the loose ball by himself. Lolo waits for Santee to turn, but he's got Hedda downfield, and what a nice play by the Richard Mille team. Hedda taking that ball to goal, and I believe he's reached his bag limit, Dale.
Yeah, and that's just a perfect play as Lolo Casanola showing composure on the other side, makes a ride-off, wasn't even looking for the ball. It pops up, but Heta knows it. He goes on the run, and that's just a great give and go by the father-son combination. The Casanola boys putting it with the 4-goal lead here as we will get our courtesy changed with 3:02 on the clock. Steve, dialed in here in the second half. Richard Mille.
Hedda Castanola scoring 13 goals of the day right here. And you know what? Pecco Polito has scored since the second chucker 1 goal every period. So
yeah, he's been strong too. They've come out of there fast. You know, they've done it. Both teams. They got to give it up for it. We saw this. This was a battle in the first 3 chuckers, and we've had, half the amount of fouls, if not even less than that, Steve, here in the second half. Been very wide open. Umpires managed the game very well early, as it was that type of game where you could throw a blanket over 6 or 8 players every second of the chucker. There wasn't many breakaways, but here now the Richard Mille team has found some openings and are capitalizing on it perfectly. But still time here, 3:02 on the clock, 4-goal difference. You can't get a team out like this. This is a Performance Plus team. They need to get possessions, maybe a couple fouls. I will give love to the Richard Mille team, too, not fouling a lot here in the second half, not giving all those goal shot penalties as they did in the first half.
Actually drawing a lot of fouls and taking goal shot opportunities away from Performance Polo. So Martelli gives the ball back to the players, and Santi Torres takes a stab at it out the front door. Here is Grisita. But Lolo Casanola sends a back shot down the boards. It's deflected off of Pony, and Pecco Polito with a back shot. Santi Torres has Tommy Collingwood out front. Santi Torres going to try and bring that ball back towards the center. However, it's stuck up against the boards. Carlitos Grisita is going to check down. We just saw this play between Carlitos and Lolo just a few moments ago. And here is Perotto and Polito on the far side. Here comes Santi Torres driving that ball towards goal. He needs this goal quickly, but Perotto has different thoughts about it. Perotto going to turn that ball back towards the corner. Perotto just staying a step ahead of Santi Torres. Now loses the ball, and Polito attempts a back shot. And maybe this is Polito here. A little tough to see with that sun over there. Polito backed up by Collingwood right here. Collingwood going to bring it back towards center. Try and navigate around some black jerseys right there. And here is Santi Torres. Santi Torres says, I got it, guys. Go ahead. But Santi Torres trying to get around black jerseys. We've got black jerseys in front. No whistle on the play. Carlitos going to go back and turn the ball tightly towards the inside. Now shoots towards goal. And the goal judge gives the high flag. So that's exactly what Performance Polo needed. Maybe just a little bit late, but they're still on the move. 3 goals behind. So can Performance Polo get 3 goals here with 1:32 left on the clock?
Yeah, still fighting down in the far west end zone, and great D again by the dark jerseys, but the white team keeping their head down. Grisita driving that one home. 1:20 on the clock. You need to get possession here, but the clock goes tick, 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 and it's working in favor of Richard Mille. Steve on the breakaway.
Here is Perotto with a back shot downfield. However, it's going to be picked up by Polito. Polito playing a heck of a game this afternoon. Polito trying to get around Gans. He brings it back towards center of the field. Tries to hit it out of the air, unable to do so, but Hedda picks up that bouncing ball. Hedda with a long shot downfield, and this is chewing up the clock that Performance Polo desperately needed. Here comes Santi Torres. Santi Torres going to turn the ball back towards center of the field. Santi sends it across the field, looking for Carlitos Grisita. Carlos sends a shot down the field, but who's going to be the first back? Perotto Cambiaso, or is that Lolo? That's Lolo going to take the ball forward. He says, hey, the clock's on our side. First horn, I'll take it forward. Perotto's going to come in and put some pressure on Carlitos, and that ball hops over the boards. So we'll have a change of possession play, but I believe the players are going to shake hands right here, Dale, and call it a day. So what a game we've had.
You got it. I want to thank the Performance Polo team here with Carlito Casita, Santi Torres, Pecca Polito, Tommy Collingwood. Always a force to be reckoned with. It was so tight. It was 2-2 after the first, 5-5 after the second, 7-6. Richard Mille, 9-8 after the fourth. They opened it up and made it 12-9 after the fifth. And here's your finish, 14-11, Steve. They're moving on. And guess what? Tell them who they're playing.
Oh, they are going to play Casablanca. We're going to have brother against brother. We're going to have brother against father. And that's going to happen twice with Barto Casnola playing against brother Heta and Lolo Casnola, as well as Mark Ganzi playing against Grant Ganzi. So it's going to be a family tradition for the $100,000 World Cup.
I want to thank everyone for coming out to the Grand Champions Polo Club, and thank you for watching Chucker TV. For Steve Lane, I'm Dale Schwetz, and I speak for the whole Chucker TV family when I say thank you for making us leaders of polo broadcasting. And remember, here at Chucker TV, we love the polo.